Hey, it's Jeremy with me, Vance Joy, a man who's going to be in San Diego playing Soma March 16th. It'll be so good to have you back in San Diego, Vance. It has been way too long since I've seen your face.
I know. Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's been ages. So looking forward to finally coming back, enjoying San Diego, and finally seeing the fans as well. It's been a while.
Can I ask you a question? Because I watched in our own sweet time on YouTube at the Soma show. Will there be tapas?
Well, I'm not the best cook. I can do the bread with the tomato. That's pretty easy. But I think we might have to call some people, call some outside help. But we can try and make it happen. We can try and get like up the standard of the catering just for the one show.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that made me laugh out loud was I think it was the second song where they pulled out the lobster and you said, "Oh my God, that's such a beautiful animal," and it was a cut scene to like pieces of lobster in a pan. I was like, "Oh man, that was cold."
So funny. It's my friend Sanjay also messaged me that like that was the transition he loved the most, and he was kind of like, and it's funny because there was footage that when they were filming it because they had the thing, I was like, man, it's a beautiful creature. Maybe I should have chosen a different line. But also there was footage of the kind of the execution of the lobster as well.
Oh God.
And it kind of like he was very enthusiastic. He went in with a lot of gusto, the chef, and my friends who were there were like kind of a little bit traumatized. They were like, oh God, is it kind of like? And anyway, they had footage of that, and then we saw it, and we're like, let's cut that whole scene out and just like glue it together, like far out.
I think you nailed it with the friends on that. That's the one thing I got from listening to your new album, In Our Own Sweet Time. It kind of encapsulates that feeling of friends, family, food, and music all coming together. Like this is the kind of album you put on when you're just celebrating life with your friends. Do you any idea or any insight of what kind of how you got that feeling in this album?
I don't know. I guess when I think about, yeah, that's such a nice description of it, and it's nice to know that that feeling comes through. But I guess you probably, if you're, enjoying those things in your life, they'll find a way into the music, and you write generally, you write about what's going on in your life, even if you're not writing directly about it. I think the vibe comes through in the songs and the kind of sounds you gravitate towards, just the general vibe you kind of want to, I don't know, express in the lyrics. So I think I was in a good spot right when we were making this album. I got to spend a lot of time with my family because it was during COVID times. I spent like 5 months in Australia, just like I was living by myself in my house, but every night my sister would come over. We'd watch Sopranos, eat dinner, and she'd go back to her place, which was just down the road. And then I got to go to Spain. I spent a lot of time on the weekends with my parents as well. And then I went to Spain and lived with my girlfriend for 4 months, and we, got to get to know her friends over here. We had a really tight-knit group of friends. We couldn't go out to parties, but like we'd do a Saturday night thing at someone's house, cook dinner, and it would be like a bit of a shut-in, like 10 people. Kind of every weekend it was the same faces, like
you had your COVID bubble.
The COVID bubble. It was a socialized like Christmas. See you tomorrow for the day after Christmas, and then see you the next week. Same crew, same 10 people every week. But it did create some good connections.
Oh, by the way, if you like Sopranos and you have not got into Yellowstone yet, I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Okay, yeah, I haven't got started, so okay, I'll give it a go.
I will warn you, it has all the vibes that Sopranos and Succession has, but it's like set in Montana and in the Wild West.
Oh, it's Kevin Costner one.
That's it.
Dude, okay, cool. Because I'm a fan. I kind of I go through phases of watching different actors and checking out all their films, and Kevin Costner's been in some good ones that like I didn't really know about till recently. So this can fit into the Kevin Costner appreciation as well as I guess something of the standard of Sopranos, which is pretty rare, so that's good.
You appreciate Kevin Costner. Do you appreciate Waterworld?
I was going to say.
Or The Postman.
Those ones, I did watch Waterworld. At the time I watched it when I was like 10, I was probably like, this is sick. But no, I never saw The Postman. I didn't see that. But he really went in on the like end of the world kind of like theme, and he did it twice, which is yeah.
Dove into that dystopian fantasy head first.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
All right, I got a personal question for you. You're from Melbourne, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been bit by a wombat in Wilson's Prom?
No, but my friend actually, you think they're pretty sturdy. Like they can like if you driving, be careful. Don't get hit by a wombat. Don't run into one. Did someone you know get bit by a wombat though? Because that I didn't know that was a thing.
So there's a story behind this question because I asked my wife, hey, I'm talking to Vance Joy in an hour. Is there any question you want me to ask him? Well, she spent 2 years at QUT, Queensland University Tech. And one of her most famous Australian stories was being at Wilson's Prom, thinking wombats were cute, trying to pet one, and it reared back, charged her, knocked her over, and bit her to the point where she still has those two little teeth mark scars in her leg.
Wow. Oh my God.
But I thought it was funny because
Wow.
my wife is this huge Pink fan. I thought, oh God, why am I asking her this question? I'm going to get a million questions about what Vance thought about working with Pink on tour. And no, it was the wombat story.
Far out. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, it's funny because sometimes the questions, when you're from Australia, you do kind of, every now and then it's like, you ever been, I thought we might have said bitten by a snake or, crocodiles. We have like dangerous creatures. And I guess the last thing, one of the last ones I would have thought of was wombat bite. I didn't know that was a thing. But they're like big, strong, like they're pretty quick as well. They don't look very aerodynamic at all, but they're very strong and fast. So,
Those short little legs carry them quickly. I've seen those little sons of bitches run.
well, it's the first time I'm glad I know this now because I won't pat one in the future. But I'm glad your wife is okay. Though it sounds pretty traumatic.
Oh, she loves to tell the story. I'm pretty sure she was a little when it all happened too. In her cups, let's just say.
yeah, yeah, far out.
But
Pat a quokka. Go and pat a quokka, you'll be fine. These are these little creatures that live on this island called Rottnest Island off the coast of Western Australia, and they're these little cute animals, and it's Quokka, I think. The quokka. I think it's how you spell it. The quokka, and they honestly look like a cartoon animation. They look like something that Pixar designed, but yeah. They're just like a big rat that live on this island, but they're super cute. So I don't think they'll bite you. But now I don't know anymore. Maybe it will bite you because if wombats are biting people, then I don't know.
man, you live in a place and grew up in a place where literally everything tries to kill you.
yeah, yeah. I'm a bit of a city slicker, but recently my parents have kind of moved out to the coast, and there's lots of nice bushwalks and stuff. So there is more dangerous stuff. Like when I go swimming, I love looking at fish, but there's like a stingray that kind of hangs out at the beach. It's quite big, like the wingspan probably maybe a couple meters, and the big stinger on the back. And I know that they're like placid animals, but still,
Just got to master the stingray shuffle.
I just master the stingray shuffle, and yeah, for me it's kind of like when it's murky, I think is a stingray going to be there if I dive in? Is he going to be there? Am I going to disturb him? So, yeah, it's yeah, there is some dangers.
So back to Pink for a second, because now I want to ask you something related to that. Her world tour brought you to Barcelona in 2019, and you said, I met a lovely girl and went on a date. So I'm a sucker for a good love story. Tell me, how did you two meet? How does a rock star like yourself meet someone while on tour like that?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was cool. It was 2019, and I was just starting that. Well, just before the Pink tour started, we had two shows in Spain, and I was in Barcelona. And I guess like anyone that's kind of just if you're single and you kind of got some time and you want to meet some people, I went on a dating app, and we met on a dating app. And she didn't know anything about my music. She really, my girlfriend had no idea really. She kind of maybe had heard my Riptide, but I don't think she really knew anything about my music or knew my face or anything. So it was really like a blind meeting for both of us. And we just went to a restaurant around here, and she took me to a restaurant, and we just had a really nice time and got along. And I was like, I'm going on tour now, but maybe at the end of this tour we could catch up again, or maybe I'll come back. And she was like, yeah, it sounds great. And that's how it kind of started. So I don't know. It's surprising. Like, I guess, I don't know what percentage of people would even recognize my face, but when I walk around on the street, it's pretty rare that someone will be like, hey, I like your music or whatever. So I think I was pretty unknown on the dating app, so that worked out.
That is
Sometimes
that
it can
is
be.
that's so weird because you think about a international star like yourself who has huge song like Riptide and then follow-up songs like Missing Piece and Clarity. That I mean, it'd be easy to pick you out of a lineup no matter where you were. It just doesn't comprehend with my mind that you can live in such a space that not everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, sometimes I do get a double take, but it's funny. It's actually surprisingly possible to be unknown and to be in a bubble of kind of yeah of kind of privacy. But it's also nice when some people say, "Hey, I recognize you. Like you'll be at the top of a mountain skiing. You've got like goggles on. I remember having a helmet on, and I've got this much face to work with." And someone's like, "Vance Joy," and I'm like, "Yeah, how do you know? Like, what is it like? What gave me away?
It was the smile. The smile gave you away.
Was it my chompers?" Yeah.
So I'm curious with your relationship with your girlfriend, since it all seemed like it happened before the pandemic, and you got to spend time with her and the family during the pandemic and during the writing of In Our Own Sweet Time. How much of your guys' relationship is kind of reflected in the songs on that album?
I'd say a fair bit. Like I think a lot of the songs, especially kind of the more romantic songs, I think kind of gravitate towards kind of just storylines about feeling like you're on a good path and feeling like happy and kind of content, and that's kind of the overwhelming theme, I guess, of some of those songs. And I think that's just when I was writing songs with my mate Dave, he'd be like, "What's happening?" And that's the way I felt. It wasn't like heartbreak and can't have you, want you, don't. It was more kind of just feeling content and like you're in a good place. So that definitely came through in the songs, and even some memories kind of found their way into songs, and so she's happy to know that she's influenced and inspired some songs, and she even kind of like she very can recognize herself in some of the songs, which is nice.
I love that. That's so cool. Curious on what you're listening to right now in terms of music. What's caught your ear in the music world? I just asked this question because I want to be introduced to some new stuff.
Yeah, yeah, good. Okay, well, I feel like I don't know if I have the ability to introduce you to new stuff that you wouldn't have heard. Maybe I do, but two songs that I really like. It's a new one that it's a song by Steve Lacy. I think it's pretty popular right now. It's called Bad Habit.
Yep, it's
I like that
blowing
song.
up everywhere right now.
Okay, that song, yeah, because that song just, yeah, it's no surprise. Then also this song by Dinosaur Jr. Um, I never really listened to this band. Do you know this
Oh,
band?
yes, love this band.
Ah, okay. So I was like, I got to check my email because I just updated my playlist. I have a little playlist on Spotify, which I kind of I just like share songs I'm listening to, and I went into like a clothing store the other day, and I heard this song, and I Shazammed it, and I was like, this is sick, and I was like, what is this song? Um, so it was Garden by Dinosaur Jr.
Oh God, yeah.
This
You need to go back and check out "Feel the Pain" and a couple of other songs from the early days.
Okay, Feel the Pain. Feel the
Yeah,
Pain. I'll write that in. Yeah, I really like that. It makes me want to get on my skateboard, as sucky as I am, and listen to Dinosaur Jr. in my headphones. I feel like they would go well together.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Southern California dream right there, baby.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Also, another song, and there's a cool band from Australia. I don't know, they've got a bunch of different music. They're pretty prolific, but they're called Ballpark Music. They're pretty eclectic, but they have a song. Actually, the song I would recommend that you listen to from them. Sorry, I know now I'm just like taking too long, but it's just it's there's a song called Cherub by Ballpark Music.
Got it. Just added it to my list.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I hope you dig that one. That's pretty cool. That one came out during 2020 as well. It was like one of those things where like people weren't, maybe where there was a little bit less music coming out, and that was one of those songs that just the quality was still, really high, and I was like, oh, you guys are doing something right, like far out. It was cool.
I will check it out on your recommendation. I know I've been bending your ear for a little bit now, so I'm going to wrap it up with one last question. I'm a foodie. You tour the world. You've got to taste food from everywhere. Where is your number one food spot, and what is it?
Oh, jeez.
Like when you're out on the road, if there's one spot you got to stop, where is it at?
Oh, one spot I got to stop, like an actual place. Well, I would say there's a place here which is called it's called Jesus. There's a few good options, but there's a good Argentinian place here, and it's called Proper, and it like does Argentinian food like meat, and it's kind of modern, but I think they really know what they're doing. And Proper, it's really good. Proper, and also a place called La Plata. It's maybe not the food is great, but it's kind of more for the ambience. Like this place La Plata, it's like sausage dish, little tiny fried fish, and tomato salad. It's like they only make three. It's like old family business, and they give you the wine in the glass thing, and it like comes out in the spout.
Nice.
Those two places. I've gotten to know some of the restaurants, and those two are good.
The next time I'm in Barcelona, I'm going to look those up again on your recommendation. But you will be here in San Diego playing at Soma March 16th. Songs from the new album in our own sweet time. And then when you're in town, I got a fish taco place I want to introduce you to. All right.
Okay, that sounds like a good. Let's do that. We'll come to the show, and I'll organize you guys tickets, and you get me the best fish tacos around, and that sounds like a good deal.
Done. We'll see you when you're in San Diego.
All right, legend. Thanks. Pleasure to talk to you, man.